A 45-year-old man comes to emergency room with chest pain. You record ECG and the ECG is normal. Your junior says, "Sir, ECG is normal. Can we discharge this patient?" What will be your answer? So friends, in today's video, let's try to find out answer of this simple question, chest pain with normal ECG. Can you relax? The short answer is no, and for long answer you will have to see this video till the end so that whenever you will encounter such patient you will know exactly what protocol you should follow. And yes, if you have come for the first time on this channel, then do subscribe this channel for more such clinical stuff. So without wasting much time, let's start the video. Chest pain is one of the common presentations in emergency medicine, and this is also very medico-legally sensitive. And let me tell you the fact that many of the junior doctors, they overtrust the ECG. But what ECG tells us? ECG tells us only about the electrical activity, and it does not tell us anything about the coronary artery patency. And the ischemia of heart can exist even with normal ECG. So now let us see what are the different heart conditions in which ECG can be normal. So the first is early acute coronary syndrome. In the first few hours, about 30 to 40% of patients of myocardial infarction, they can have normal ECG. ST changes are often very late findings. Second, NSTEMI and unstable angina. In these conditions, ECG can be normal or there can be very subtle changes that can be easily missed. And the third is posterior wall MI. The standard ECG leads, they does not see the posterior wall, and hence many times the posterior infarcts are missed. If you see certain clues like ST depression in V1, V2, V3, you can confirm this posterior MI by taking ECG with posterior leads like V7, V8 and V9. So if the patient is having a typical chest pain, you believe the patient rather than believing ECG blindly. Now remember another important thing, and that is there are certain dangerous non-cardiac conditions where patient can have chest pain but ECG is normal. So normal ECG does not completely rule out these conditions. So what are these conditions? They are like aortic dissection, pulmonary embolism, pneumothorax, early pericarditis. So normal ECG does not always mean that the patient is completely safe. So now we have come to the very important part of the video, that is how to manage or approach this type of patient. So the first step is that you will have to do a risk stratification. That is, you will have to see if the patient is a low risk, intermediate risk or high risk for cardiac ischemia. So first we will see who is a high risk patient. So if there is an typical anginal chest pain, if the pain is for more than 20 minutes, if the pain is associated with sweating, nausea, dyspnea or radiation to the left arm or left side of the jaw, if the vitals are not stable, if there are signs of heart failure, if there is a previous history of coronary artery disease, stent or CABG, or if the patient is elderly or having diabetes mellitus. If any of this condition is there, you have to treat this patient as acute coronary syndrome until proven otherwise. And then you will have to do certain type of investigations, like you will have to do serial ECGs every 10 minutes to see if there are any changes. You will also send cardiac enzymes like troponins at 0 hour, between 3 to 6 hours and 6 to 12 hours. If the troponins are increased, then it confirms cardiac necrosis. And here you will also do a 2D echo to see if there are any regional wall motion abnormalities. So in this way, you will manage patient of high risk. Now we will see how to approach patients of low risk and intermediate risk. So who is a low risk patient? If the patient is young, that is age less than 40 years, the pain is atypical, there are no cardiovascular risk factors and the vitals are stable, then this patient is of low risk. Then who is in intermediate risk? So if the vitals are stable, the chest pain is atypical, but there are risk factors or the age of the patient is more than 40, then the patient is in intermediate risk. In both these type of patients, you will do same investigations like ECG every 10 minutes and also during pain. You will also do cardiac enzymes like troponins at 0 hours, 3 to 6 hours and 6 to 12 hours. And here 2D echo is optional in low risk, but it is preferred in intermediate risk patient. Side by side, you will also see for the red flag signs for the dangerous non-cardiac conditions like aortic dissection, where you will see the tearing chest pain and unequal BP between upper and lower limbs. In pulmonary embolism, you will get pleuritic chest pain and dyspnea. And in pneumothorax, you will get unilateral absence of breath sounds. So you will have to also rule out these dangerous non-cardiac conditions. Now, when can you discharge these low risk or intermediate risk patient? For this, four things have to be fulfilled. First, there is no chest pain. The serial ECGs are normal. The cardiac enzymes are normal. And fourth important thing is that an alternative non-dangerous diagnosis is established, like the musculoskeletal chest pain, that is the chest pain of the patient should be due to the non-dangerous cause like musculoskeletal conditions, GERD or esophageal spasm, panic or anxiety. So if all these four conditions are fulfilled, you can discharge the patient. An important thing at the time of discharge is that for intermediate risk patient, you will have to advise him to undergo treadmill test or stress test. And this test is optional for the low risk patient. If the low risk patient is very anxious or you are still confused if the pain was of coronary cause or not, then in that case, you can also recommend treadmill test for low risk patient. An important thing also is that you have to, all these things, you have to document it properly on the paper. Let me end this video with this. Chest pain with normal ECG does not guarantee safety of the patient. So do not relax. Think, observe, investigate, and most important, respect the chest pain of the patient. So friends, if you find today's video helpful, useful, share with your friends, with your batchmates. And if you have come for the first time on this channel, then do subscribe this channel for more such clinical videos. See you in the next video. Till then, thank you.